This is Advanced Sports Talk. Alright, so I had a segment on my channel last year called Second Chance Quarterback. And yeah, so I figured at this point, we're midway through the season, why not bring it back? So, we're gonna get to this list here. First up, obviously, we're going to do our honorable mentions. Geno Smith, he got hurt last week, but he's still killing it in Seattle. He secured that job. It definitely held it down after Russell Wilson went to Denver. For reasons that will continue to baffle me, Washington did not see a future with this kid, Taylor Heinicke. I mean, during the 2020 playoff run, they stood up, went toe-to-toe. I mean, he stood up and went toe-to-toe with the top defense in the league. And they pretty much threw him in there because they didn't think that Alex Smith was going to be mobile enough to get away from that pass rush. Taylor Heinicke did it. And this shouldn't really be a honorable mention because he's been a starter, but I say I add him to the second chance honorable mentions because he's ever since the big swap between him and Matt Stafford between LA and Detroit, he's been doing significantly better than he's been doing in LA. He took the Rams to a Super Bowl, but his play was not as good as it's been since he's been in Detroit. Unfortunately, the first year he was there, he suffered from a condition called playing for the Detroit Lions, where, the Lions were still kind of, they were good, but they weren't great. They were just starting their turnaround. Last year, they might have had a losing record, but all of those games, well, probably most of those games were in close contention. Like at least one or two scores. No, definitely one score. I'm sorry. Two scores if you're considering field goal. But yeah, it was definitely something that was manageable. And now, this year, the Lions are killing it. They're at the top of the conference. So, hey. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to get to the first official person on this list. I might be a little biased, but Baker Mayfield. Hold on, excuse me, because I think y'all might have forgot. Alright, so Baker Mayfield has Baker Mayfield is on this list because he had a significant fall from grace after leaving. Well, I shouldn't say after leaving Cleveland. After his contract ran out at Cleveland. So yeah, then there was an instance last season where he wasn't guaranteed to find a home. So he bounced around a little bit. He went to he ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers. And I think they just signed him so he would have a place to stay. And that's very commendable of them. I applaud them for that. And then he was traded to the LA Rams. Yeah, so he was traded to the LA Rams when Matt Stafford got hurt, and that wasn't a bad landing spot for him. So, he ended up in yet another good position. So, now, this season, as you've probably seen in my quarterbacks video, he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And initially, as I've stated, I didn't want no parts of Baker Mayfield. But I will say that I had to amend myself because I said, wait a minute, hold up. This kid was good at one point. So it depends on which Baker Mayfield we get that may show up. 2021 Baker Mayfield, no, we don't want that guy. 2020 Baker Mayfield, yeah, we want that guy. That playoff guy. The guy that beat the Steelers in the wild card round. We want that guy, yeah. So, and I will say this: it's been a tale of 2 quarters of the season, but Baker hasn't really done anything that made me say, this dude is trash. Get him the fuck out of here. No, he's actually doing pretty good, and the team responds to him too. That one of the things that I noticed is that he came in, and it's like he's been in Tampa his whole life. So he's good. You know, the team responds to him. He's good in the locker room. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers record doesn't reflect it, but I think that, you know, Baker has been humbled, and he's actually trending upward. So a lot of that the success of the team also has to do with the fact that the team is also trying to reestablish its identity, you know. And props to him again also for stepping into the shoes, because, you know, even though Tom Brady was with us for 3 years, you know, those are some big shoes to fill, you know. And I think Kyle Trask was was definitely up to the task, but I don't know what happened in the back office or whatever. Maybe they saw something during training camp or practice or whatever the case that led them to say, you know what, maybe we should give him another year, or, you know, we're gonna go ahead and give Baker the start. I mean, obviously Baker has the real world experience, but hey, nevertheless, Baker Mayfield. And while we're talking about Baker Mayfield, let's talk about the guy that Cleveland pushed him out the door for, Deshaun Watson. All right, so oh man. So all right, so listen. So Deshaun Watson has had a pretty good year. You know, that now he came in tail end of last year, and let's just say that he wasn't expected to do great, because after they handed out that damn near death penalty of a what am I talking about? A punishment. You know, he was pretty much just like, all right. So in 6 games, he threw 7 touchdowns, not very impressive, 4 interceptions, and he's got 1,115 yards. So, oh, hold up. He's got 142 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. So yeah, so he's doing all right. He's injured right now, and I thought that I would have been doing a video on PJ Walker, but they decided to go with Dorian Thompson-Robinson for starting this week. So, and they got Joe Flacco. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Which goes to show you, Joe Flacco will always have a job in the NFL. It's kind of like Kirk Cousins. All right, so we're gonna keep this Browns gravy train rolling, and we're gonna talk about Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs was on their roster last year. He was their 3rd string quarterback, and this year, man, Josh Dobbs is killing it. Listen, hold on. Josh Dobbs started this season with the Cardinals, and I'm not going to say he kept them afloat, but he definitely made them competitive. That was made prevalent on that was made evident on that Thursday night game with Dallas. Oh, that game where they were 13-point favorites, and of course The Cowboys were 13-point favorites. And, of course, I bet against them. And Arizona won me a lot of money that day. Oh, man. All right. No, all jokes aside. All jokes aside. So, Josh Dobbs. Then, once Kyler Murray was off of injured reserve and he was healthy, they traded him to Minnesota. Ironically, this was the same week that that Kirk Cousins got hurt. So it's kind of weird how that happened. Kyler Murray gets cleared to play. Kirk Cousins get hurt. So it was like, hey, you need a guy. We got a guy. Hey, let's work it out. And yeah, they sent them up to Minnesota. And without even knowing the playbook or any of his receivers' names, he killed it. Like, what do you want to say? Like, look, like, man, this guy definitely deserves to be a starter in the league. I don't know whose job he's going to take, but hey, to do that on 1 week's notice is impressive. All right. Oh, forgot I can take the hat off now because I ain't talking about the Bucs. But in any case, last on this list that we're going to talk about, this is going to be another guy that will always have a job in the NFL. Gardner Minshew, otherwise known as the Fu Manchu. I don't know, but I'm hoping that's going to catch on. But all right, so listen, Gardner Minshew was a previous first-round pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and for whatever reason, they decided to let him go. You know, maybe it was under development or whatever the case. Maybe he didn't perform quite well. Underperformance. There we go. That's what I meant to say. But he ended up in Philadelphia for a discount. And I will say, when he was the 2 years that he was in Philly, you know, might have been the best thing for his career, because he had the ability to back up Jalen Hurts. And he came in 2 years ago. He came in for a couple of games, but last year when he came in and when they was talking about whether Jalen Hurts was really an elite quarterback, or was it just the system or the offense that he was in, or what, fact of the matter is that, you know, when Minshew was requested to come in, he came in and he did his thing. Now, he lost to the Cowboys, which in the fans of Philadelphia Eagles fans is unforgivable. He still put 34 points up on him. So yeah, and passing yards in those games was not a slouch either. He definitely had at least 200 to 250 passing yards in each of those games that he was playing. I might be wrong. I might be being generous with that number, but help me out with the average in the comment section. But look, yeah. So I think that this is definitely somebody who hey, he deserves to be a starter. And right now he's in Indianapolis, and he's been holding it down since Anthony Richardson got hurt. So hey, but in any case, those are my thoughts on second chance quarterback. I'm gonna do a more in-depth list later, further on down the season. Might need to start doing the playoff predictions. So, but in any case, what do you think about my list? Who do you feel deserves a second chance in the NFL? Who do you think should be a starter? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're going to start this conversation. We're going to chop it up. My name's Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.